Hey guys, Amanda here. So, as you can see in the title, my cat, oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn these notification sounds off. My bad. Okay, so I made a video a couple weeks ago or so about how my cat got injured and I had to take him to the emergency animal hospital, and then he went to his regular vet, and we found out that so what happened is his right leg on the inside and on the knee, um, there was a big gash on the inside of his leg and a smaller gash on the knee, and those are healing up really nice. The problem is when we brought him to the vet, they did radiographs, and we found out that his left hip is dislocated and he has a fracture. So he was hoping, because sometimes when that happens, the cat or the dog or whatever animal, if you give them time, sometimes it can fix itself. Um, but he was still limping. He's still laying around. He's not being himself. He wants to go outside so bad. And I feel so bad for him right now. My heart goes out to him because this is his time of year. He does not like the winter at all, and he has been waiting and waiting, and now summer's here, and now he's inside, can't go out, has a collar, one of those combs around his neck. Um, and he's understanding, stuff's happening, and I talk with my animals. I tell them where I am, where they are, what's happening to them, and just like if I was talking to my child or my mother or somebody else, I talk to them. My animals understand what I'm saying. We have a connection, and he knows he's going in for surgery first thing in the morning. And I do not know, and I'm going to try to find out. I do not know the name of the actual procedure that's being done, but basically think of it as he's going to get a replacement hip. um, and it's not like a simple procedure, but it's an effective procedure. And Um, he said that if all goes well, he should be up and about. I don't know how long the recovery time is necessarily, but he says, you most times, because we always know there's an exception to the rule, but most times he said the animal heals fine and it's like nothing ever happened. And at worst, he might have a limp. And that's okay with me because he's alive. And what we think happened, and we can't prove this 100%, we weren't there, we don't know, but based on his many years as a vet, he believes that he was hit by a car. So I am so glad that it wasn't his head because this is my baby, one of my babies. Um, I've lost a lot of animals over the past few years very quickly. And, you know, if I were to lose him now, um, I don't know how I would take that. My animals are my family. They're not just a pet. They are part of the family. So it would be no different than if something happened to my son. I mean, of course, my son, you know, if something happened to him, the impact I think would be greater just because I gave birth to him. I carried him. There's that type of connection there as a mother. But when whenever anything has had to be done, whether we used to have, way back when I was in high school, um, we adopted a dog, He was a German Shepherd, and he came from a home where he was abused by men. And because of that, he had a problem. When he saw men, he would try to bite them. And one day, I don't know if it was the oil guy, gas guy, I don't know what guy, the guy came. I wasn't there, but he bit the guy. And as much as we wanted to keep him, we had to make the hard decision of thinking this through in the future, thinking about how affected he is, because when you take a dog for a walk, you're going to pass by men. When you take him out in the car, you're going to pass by men. And whenever we would go places, he was always so like, there's a guy. So he would get in fight or flight because he was abused so badly by men that he didn't like them at all. Kids were different. He liked kids, but if you were like tall enough to look like an adult, so probably like 16 on, he didn't like you. And it wasn't personal, it was because he was abused and he was reacting. And we had to make the decision to give him back. And that was a very hard decision because aside from that, he was a magnificent, beautiful dog. And it was just really sad. So that's just an example of, having an animal, and sometimes it doesn't go the way that it should. And we felt that he needed to be in a home where, because we talked to the shelter about his behavior, and I don't know what they did with him, but what we said is, from our experience and what we knew back then of his past and his information and all that, that he should probably be adopted by somebody who trains dogs, somebody who works with dogs who've been abused, because it was very sudden when he would do it. It wasn't like he would start growling, it was just suddenly he would do it. So we didn't have the know-how to do that for him, and we knew that. And it was really hard to give him back. I'm starting to tear up. I mean, I hope that he got a good home. Oh my God, I'm tearing. um and that also happened when I had a dog, and I got this dog named Sasha. Her and his brother Roby, and her brother Roby, sorry. And she had a good 5 years. Now with these two dogs, they were inbred. Their parents were brother and sister. What it was is we got them in New York, and because we were visiting a friend, my mom's friend from high school, and he knew someone who was breeding dogs, and they were selling them. And we found out that information, and they were bred for fighting. So I'm glad we were able to at least adopt two of them. And when I got pregnant, and we were told this by the trainer when we first got them, we took them to a dog trainer, and he said, because they are so inbred, I mean, it was generations after generations of inbreeding with these dogs, that one day they could turn on you. So we always knew in the back of our minds that something could happen. And I got pregnant, and I was, I want to say 7 or 8 months pregnant. And I was lying on my bed, and my dog Sasha was lying next to me, and my mother was on the other side. And we were just loving on her, because what she was doing, she kept putting her head on my belly, because dogs will, like, they'll put their heads on your pregnant belly so they can, like, they're hearing the baby and all that stuff. And that's what I thought she was doing. And all of a sudden she started to growl, and I'm like, Sasha, what's wrong? And she got louder and louder and louder. And my mom got off the bed, and she kind of stood up, and she looked directly at my belly, and she was growling and growling. And I'm like, oh my God, because I was on my back. Okay. When you're like 8 months pregnant, I'm sorry, it's hard to move. Okay. You're carrying a human being, for Christ's sakes. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean that, when you're pregnant like that, it's really hard to move, obviously. Um, and my mother got up off the bed, and she had on a bathrobe. And she said, on the count of three, I want you, as fast as you can, to jump off the bed and come towards me. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I was really scared. I didn't know what I didn't know what she was going to do, and I didn't know what to do. So I said, okay. And she counted to three, and as I went to get up, she grabbed me, and she kind of threw me. She threw me into the wall, not on purpose to hurt me. She was just moving me as far away and as fast away from Sasha as she could, because what had happened is that Sasha couldn't handle all the hormones that were going through my body. She couldn't, because we talked to the vet. We went back and talked to the dog trainer, and we got more information. And it was because she was inbred. It wasn't her fault. But my mother had a bathrobe on, so when I leapt off the bed and I went up against the wall, and it was in this bedroom over here. This bedroom there's a door to the cellar. And I when I hit the wall, I turned back real quick, and I saw my mother had her legs apart, and she had the bathrobe on. So when she went to go for me, she was able to grab onto her collar, and she really was trying to come after me. Um, and like I said, it was all due to her being inbred. It wasn't something, she wasn't a mean dog in that way towards people. She would always like go after her brother. But sometimes, I'll tell you, when her brother was sick of her shit, he would let her know. And she knew he could overpower her. But he was a very gentle dog. He never wanted to fight. But basically, I, I don't know if this is a real thing, but the dog trainer said, think of it as a version of dog schizophrenia, for lack of a better term. I'm not trying to disrespect anyone or anyone's illness. It was just an example he gave to kind of understand the mindset that she was in because of her inbreeding. And I went into the cellar, and I walked down the stairs, and we had a cooler down there, and I sat on that cooler, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. I don't know how long I sat there and cried. And I was crying because I knew what I had to do. I could not trust that she would be able to be around my baby and not hurt him. I didn't know if she would do that. I'm sorry. So I had to give her up. She was such a good dog. I don't know what happened to her, but she had a good 5 years with us. And she was a good dog. It wasn't her fault. But I couldn't keep her. I had to choose. And I wish I didn't. I wish I had not. I wish that it wasn't like that, but it was. And by now, she would be dead. I just hope that she went to a good home and she was loved for, cared for. Because she deserved that. She was a good dog. But I miss her so much. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was gonna cry. So, there's another example of sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do, but you have to. And like I said, every animal I've ever had, they're not a pet, they are family. So to give her up, I felt like I was like a bad person. But I had to think of my baby too. Oh my god. I didn't know I was gonna cry. So I don't even know what my point was anymore. I don't know what my point was. I'm sorry. I got caught up in the emotions of everything. And that's something I want to talk about too after I talk about this. So, whenever I have an animal, they're family, they're part of the pack. We are a pack. We live together, we walk together, we drive together, we love together. And my cat, I am really glad that he didn't get his head run over. Because I don't think I can handle another death right now, so close after all these other deaths of animals. So I'm glad that all he needs is basically a hip replacement, and I'm gonna try to I'm gonna find out the name of that operation, in case you guys want to know if your animals ever get hit by a car or something and they talk about that, you'll know what it is. Oh my god. So I'm the kind of person that, like, he needs to be at the vet for 7:40 in the morning, and I guarantee you I will not sleep tonight. I've always been that way. Whenever my animals have needed something where they have to have a surgery or something, I never sleep. I might get shut eye half hour here, maybe an hour there, but I'm always like inside. I'm just so worried. I'm so anxious that I can't sleep until I know that my animals are okay. And I've been like that my entire life. It's not just with animals, it's with anything. That, like when I first started college the night before, I threw up. I was so nervous. I threw up the night before and I didn't sleep at all. And but I know he's going to be okay. He's getting a safe procedure done. It's something that's performed actually a lot. A lot of animals get hit by something, especially if they go outside, and he does go outside. Right now, he's not going outside, he's inside. And tonight, he can't eat after 7 o'clock, and it's already after 7. He can have water, and obviously, you can't eat because they're giving you anesthesia, and you can, aspirate, and stuff can happen. So, I know he's gonna be okay, and all that, but, I just wanted to update you guys on what's happening with him. So yeah, because his leg hasn't, healed naturally. And he's limping pretty bad. And he's laying around unless he wants to eat. That because it didn't heal, he would need this. So I'm gonna let you. I'll update you guys when, after he has the procedure and I get more information. So, oh my God, this thing keeps coming up. The other thing I wanted to talk about is my emotions right now. Clearly, they are on display. Because of my shoulder, I start physical therapy on Friday. And because of all the pain I've been in, I asked my psychiatrist if I could go on diazepam temporarily and then switch back to the lorazepam after I get stuff worked out with the injection and go into physical therapy and stuff. And she agreed to that because for me, diazepam, helps with pain. And it helps with sleep a little bit. Like, I think I sleep an extra half hour with it. But it helps with pain. But on the flip side, my anxiety is through the roof. I have nothing holding my anxiety back. I have nothing to help me not cry at everything. Like, I've been watching reaction videos to music that I actually grew up on. I'm 34 and I grew up on 60s, 70s, 80s music. So I already know a lot of these songs and a lot of these artists and everything that people are reacting to. And I've been watching them, for a while. And sometimes when you listen to a song, it can really touch you. When someone's singing from their soul, it touches you no matter if you mean it to or not. And sometimes you might cry, not that you're sad, but it hits you in your heart, Yeah, your heart's right here, right? Yeah, hand over your heart. But lately, I've been crying at everything that I hear, everything that I listen to, musically anyway. I've been having a hard time managing my emotions. I'm trying to use the DBT skills. But right now, because I'm not on the Ativan, I have nothing. My anxiety is so high. And my emotions, I cannot control them whatsoever, as you can obviously see. So, I'm gonna have to call my psychiatrist and talk to her about it. I have an appointment with her at the end of the month, but I think I should at least leave a message and let her know what's going on, because maybe there's something different I can do. I don't really know, but I don't feel stable. I don't feel normal. You know what I mean? Like, I feel very emotional. Like, I can't, I don't have the words for it, but I'm sure that a lot of you understand what I'm saying. And I don't know what to do about it, because they don't want me taking diazepam and lorazepam because it can lower your blood pressure really far. But in the past, I was on Ativan, diazepam, and oh God, what's the name of it? Methadone with the gabapentin. My body can handle that kind of medication being taken. I never had any issues with taking it all the time, every day. I never had any issues with it. But I understand with the opioid crisis, how they don't want to give you, they don't want to just fill you with meds. And I'm actually glad they don't want to just fill you with meds, but at the same time, I think doctors are sometimes a little too cautious about medication. They're not really understanding that not everyone is an addict and not everyone takes these medications because they want to get high or whatever, you know. Um, but I'm just so emotional. Stop it, go away. Sorry, things keep popping up on my phone. It's annoying. It's because my notifications are on, so it keeps popping up everywhere. Um, so yeah, I guess I just wanted to give you an update on how things are going, and I'm gonna give an update, about school. I did make a video about that, but I was kind of I wasn't really being nice in the video. I was really just letting my emotions do the talking rather than just thinking through what I wanted to really say. So I didn't want to offend anybody or anything. So I posted it and then I'm like, no, I'm not going to post this. No, I don't want people thinking that, I don't want people, you know how sometimes when you're upset and you say things, you don't mean, like you say it in the moment because that's how you're feeling, but it's not necessarily a long-term feeling. It's more like you're feeling it in the moment, and then the moment passes, and then you think about it, and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I could have gone about it a different way. And that's how I felt about that video, is that I think I would have offended people, maybe made them angry. Um, But at the same time, I think a lot of what I said, people can relate to, especially if you are in a school district where you have a special needs child and they're doing like the hybrid model, um, and all that. Now, if you have a special needs child, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe I might not, I don't know this information, but I assume, because in my state, this is how it has to be. You have to have an IEP to be able to go to school because you have to work out all the stuff, because he gets speech and language and all this stuff, and it's like, how is that going to be? Is that going to be over the internet? I mean, OT is something where you have to be with, you know what I mean? Like, so and the high school keeps calling me to ask me what I'm gonna do with him, and I am not agreeing to anything until there is an IEP. And I said it can be done over Zoom. I said, but I'm not agreeing to nothing. Okay, there needs to be an IEP. We need to have a plan in place, and I feel like they are mostly caring about the all the other students because there's so many of them, as opposed to, the special ed classrooms where, um, like in his room when he was in eighth grade, there was like 4 or 5 kids total, you know. So yeah, the special needs kids where I am, they have no idea what they're gonna do. I think they're just like, we'll just see how it goes. This is a social experiment. I'm sorry, but I'm not using my son as your guinea pig. I would rather him take a year off of school and they take the time to create an actual vaccine that actually works and is healthy for people, because I'm sorry, I don't care that whatever, Russia, I don't know, came out with a vaccine. I'm sorry, if you came out with a vaccine that fast, I wouldn't take it because they didn't do trials on it. Nothing. They're just like, yep, we're first. It's like, I don't care if you're first. What I care about is you do the drug trials the way they're supposed to be done. You create this vaccine the way it's supposed to be done so people will benefit instead of just being social guinea pigs. And that's what I feel right now about school. I mean, I understand that there are many, many different situations, and I am not saying that how you want to do it isn't right. or wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I feel that the schools, whoever it is, I don't know, maybe it's because Trump said if you don't send the kids to school, you won't get any funding. Always comes down to money, doesn't it? So, I would rather my son take a year off or two from school, and so they, hold on a second, let me just, I can start, getting back. Like I used to make videos differently, and now all I can do is record it on my phone. That's it. That's all I can do right now. So anyway, I feel like they're using our kids as a social experiment. I mean, let's just think about this logically, okay? Now, the doctor who assessed the situation literally said, if a child coughs, that is enough to have them sent home because they might have COVID. Now, a lot of us parents, okay, especially if you have young kids, okay, what happens in the first half of the school year with almost every young child? They get colds. They get sick. They start sneezing, blowing their nose. So, what that means is that they're going to get sent home and they can't come back until they're better. And then you have to quarantine. And it's like, okay, so what you're saying is that you want to put kids in a situation where they're just going to end up getting sick anyway, because that's what happens with little kids. They get sick, they get colds, they wipe their nose. Like, come on, guys, think this through. Have you not ever seen a young child? Okay, good luck keeping their masks on. Seriously, good luck with the high schoolers, too. I know when I was in high school, I'd be like, you want me to wear a mask? I ain't doing it. They'd be like, go to the office. And me, I'd be like, okay. And then I'd walk home. I don't recommend that, okay? I'm just saying, when I was in high school, I was that kind of person. I was very flippy and I always had a comeback for everything. I was quick-witted like that. And a lot of the times when I would be sent to the office because I wasn't even involved in what happened, but I'd be sent to the office anyway. A couple of, when I first started high school as a freshman, yeah, I would go to the office. But as I got farther into school, I started to see certain patterns with some teachers and things like that. And I realized that teachers play favorites. And if you're watching this and you're a teacher, you know that that's true. You know that you have one, two, three, whatever many students who are really good at what they do. They understand the directions, they listen really well, they always get good grades, and you guys cater to them. I don't know if you consciously realize that you're doing this, but the rest of the class can see that, especially the kids who are shy or, they don't have a lot of self-esteem. They might know the answers, but you don't you don't cater to them. And let's be honest, that is a true statement. That is a very true statement. I know teachers will be like, I treat all my kids the same. No, you don't. No, you do not. And I can have people back me up if I need to. That is a lie. That is a complete lie. And anyone who's gone to school, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? But again, I just, I want there to be an IEP. And here's the thing, they're doing like two days at school, 3 days remote learning. But they never I guess they sent out in an email, excuse me, a what do you call it? I forgot what they call it, but it had like three plans of how to go back to school. One was I got a low battery, so I got to make this quick. One was full time back in school. The other one was the hybrid model. The other one is complete remote learning. And until there is an IEP, I'm not agreeing to anything. And I have questions such as if he wants to go to school for, I don't know, phys ed or math or something like that, can he go to school just for that and then come home? Where I would drive him and I would bring him home like that, you know. So there's a lot of things that need to be done. There's a lot of planning that needs to be done. And I'm not going to let my son slide by the wayside because no offense. Well, no, please take offense to this. Y'all got your heads up your asses and you don't know what you're doing and you don't know what you're talking about and you're using our kids as guinea pigs and you should be ashamed of yourselves. Seriously, like what is wrong with you? There are adults out there who can't even go to their jobs because it's not safe because of COVID. But let's put kids in a petri dish and expect them to not get sick. I mean, you have, like, are you insane? Like, what is wrong with you? Okay, like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So, anyway, just to recap, my cat is having surgery in the morning. I hope I get some sleep. My son also has a dentist appointment tomorrow, so I'm gonna get that done too. Um, I'm having a hard time with my emotions, so I'm gonna call my doctor and talk to her or leave a message and just find out what I can do. I don't know, maybe a different medication. I really don't know. At this point, but I'm having a hard time dealing with a lot of things. So my emotions are all over the place right now. So hopefully I can get that in check and then also figure out the IEP and the school thing for my son. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. Some of what's going on. But I'm on low battery and it keeps telling me that. Oh, now they are saying they're going to have virtual learning. All kids have to attend school, but the instructors are virtual. So they go to the school and the teachers are virtual. Is that what you're saying? Really? That's what they want to do? Oh, and you know what? You know how like you're supposed to be like 6 feet apart? Yeah, they only have to be 3 feet apart. And here's their logic. They showed a picture. Okay, so you have like a person, empty desk, person, empty desk, person, empty desk, right? But in front of you is another person. And their logic, oh my God, seriously, they must be on meth. I don't know. They're I'm sorry, this is too funny because it's so stupid. Okay, they they said this. Well, if you're sitting behind someone and you cough, it's not going to hit their face. And I'm just like, do you not know how particles work? Do you not know how air works? Do you not understand these concepts? I mean, you're teachers, for heaven's sake. That makes no sense. That's stupid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ah! You know, and again, it all comes down to money. It's all about the money. And there, so, you know, whatever you want to do with your children, just make sure that whatever choice you make based on where you live and how they're doing it, make the best choice for the health of you and your family, because that's what really matters. All this stuff that they're learning in school, I'm sorry, but it's high school. Um, and even undergrades, you can learn that at home. You can learn that on the internet. You don't need teachers now. It's just repetitive stuff and you can learn that online for free. So, I mean, yeah, I guess, I mean, whatever, but yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna go now. I will update you guys on Shadow and let you know how he's doing. Yeah, it is. I hated public school. I don't want my son to grow up too fast, but I cannot wait until he graduates so he's out of this stupid fucking district. Oh my God. Just let it out. Just let it out, right? Um, Okay. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for watching. And let me know what's going on in your school districts, and what models they're using, and how you feel about it, and what are your plans. What do you think should really happen, and all that stuff. Um, yeah, they do. It's an indoctrination system. They teach you how to it's think of like the military. You have to do, say, and act a certain way, or you don't, you're in trouble, And since where I live, there's a zero tolerance policy. Lots of kids get expelled. Um, so it's like, okay, all right, sure. And then there's this No Child Left Behind thing that I heard of, and I'm like, so basically, if a child doesn't pass the grade, you'll just send them on to the next one, even though they haven't completed this one. Whatever happened to summer school? Whatever happened to repeating the grade? Like, you can do it online nowadays. I mean, what is going on here? I feel like we're living in Revelations. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to upset anyone, but when you look at the state of the world, and what's going on, especially in this country, good Lord, it kind of reminds you of us, what is it? Sodom and Gomorrah. What happened there? Yeah, read Revelations. Seriously, it's a trip. It really is. It's a scary, scary book. But to me, I believe it's all true. Whether it's metaphorical or literal, whatever it is, somebody wrote that down for a reason, you know, and it hasn't been in cultures for all this time to not be listened to. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let me know what's going on with you guys. If you have special needs kids, how are the IEPs doing? Like what's going on? Or are they just like, yeah, we're just gonna see what's gonna happen? I think they're out of their minds, really out of their minds. So, all right, thank you for watching. I love you all. If you made it through this, oh my God, you are a saint, because there was a lot going on in this video. So, but my videos are real. This is real. There's no editing or anything. This is how it is. So thank you for watching. I love you all. Please take care of yourselves and be safe out there. And I will see you in my next video. Peace and love, guys. Bye.